Please bring it out and turn to page 8. We are considering study article 36. Armageddon is good news. Jehovah's people have long awaited Armageddon. This study is going to break it down for us to understand what Armageddon is and the events that will lead up to Armageddon and how we can remain faithful as the end draws near. Jehovah loves us very much, and his love for us will never fail. As long as we remain obedient, yes, because obedience will lead to our salvation at Armageddon. So please give this watchtower summary your undivided attention. In the end, we should be able to answer the following review questions. What are some of the main events that will lead up to Armageddon? Why will the proclamation of peace and security be a dangerous lie? How can we remain faithful to Jehovah as Armageddon draws near? Our study is drawn from the book of Revelation chapter 16 verse 16. In part says, they gathered them together to Armageddon. So we start with paragraph 1 and 2, question A. Why is Armageddon good news for mankind?
It is because rather than destroy, it will save mankind. Armageddon will actually save mankind by ending human rule. It will remove the wicked and preserve the righteous. It will also protect our beautiful planet from ruin. Now this is in line with the account of Revelation chapter 11 verse 18, where Jehovah promises to destroy all of those who are running the earth.
We appreciate your beautiful comment, brother. Be part of the question. What questions will we consider in this article? Sister Chinwendu Mwamana.
To fully understand how the war of Armageddon is good news for Jehovah's people, this article will answer 4 important questions. 1. What is Armageddon? 2. What events will lead up to Armageddon? 3. How can we be among those who will be saved at Armageddon? And 4. How can we remain faithful as Armageddon draws near?
Sister, we appreciate your comment. So the first question, what is Armageddon? That leads us to paragraph 3. But please bring up your Bible. Let's go to the book of Revelation. Revelation, we are going to read Revelation chapter 16, verse 14 and 16. Revelation chapter 16, verse 14 and 16. Sister Onyinye George to read for us.
They are, in fact, expressions inspired by demons, and they perform signs, and they go out to the kings of the entire inhabited earth to gather them together to the war of the great day of God the Almighty. And they gathered them together to the place that is called in Hebrew Armageddon.
Sister, we appreciate that fine reading. Question on paragraph 3a. What does the word Armageddon mean? Sister Aniyebiet Enarero.
According to Revelation 16 verse 16, the word Armageddon comes from a Hebrew term that means mountain of Megiddo, and it refers to the situation to which the kings of the entire inhabited earth are gathered to the war of the great day of God the Almighty. Moreover, in this article, we will also use the term Armageddon to refer to the war that immediately follows the gathering of the kings of the earth.
We appreciate your comment, sister. B. Based on Revelation chapter 16, verse 14 and 16, why can we say that Armageddon is not a literal place? Brother Elvis Enarero.
Armageddon does not refer to a literal place on earth. Instead, it is symbolic. How do we know that Armageddon is a symbolic place? First, there is no literal mountain of Megiddo. Second, the area of Megiddo is far too small to hold the kings of the entire inhabited earth, their armies, and the war armament of their mass destruction. Then thirdly, the war of Armageddon will begin when the world's kings attack God's people who are scattered throughout the earth today.
That's a beautiful comment, brother. We appreciate. Paragraph 4. Why did God connect his final great war with Megiddo? Brother Raphael Abiloye.
Megiddo and the nearby Jezreel Valley were sites known for physical battles. And in this battle, Jehovah has directly intervened in behalf of his people. For example, Jehovah helped the Israelites George Barak to defeat the Canaanite army that was led by a chief named Sisera. Just like in the past, that Jehovah directly intervened in behalf of his people. In the final war that is coming, Jehovah will also directly intervene in behalf of his people.
We appreciate your fine comment, brother. Barak fought, but how different is that war compared to what we are going to face at Armageddon? That takes us to a question on paragraph 5. In what important way will the war of Armageddon differ from the battle that Barak fought? Sister Gladys Nadozie.
We see that Barak, Deborah, and the Israelites, they volunteered physically. With Jehovah's help, they conquered. Likewise, at Armageddon, Jehovah's enemies will perish, while all those who love Jehovah will be saved. One important thing to note about the war of Armageddon is God's people will not fight. They won't even be armed. Their strength will be in keeping calm and showing trust in Jehovah and his heavenly armies, as recorded in Revelation chapter 19, verse 15, where Jesus is going to use a symbolic, long, sharp sword protruding out of his mouth to strike the nations, bringing the conquest to an end.
Sister, we quite appreciate that excellent comment. We know that Jehovah will defeat his enemies at Armageddon, but how may he do so? That takes us to question paragraph 6. How may Jehovah defeat his enemies at Armageddon? Brother Efosa Usamodiame.
Jehovah may decide to use earthquakes, hail, or lightning, as recorded at Job chapter 38, verse 22 and 23, or Ezekiel chapter 38, 19 to 22. He may also decide to turn the enemy's sword against himself, as recorded at 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 17, 22, and 23. Or better still, he may also decide to use an angel to slay all the wicked, as recorded at Isaiah chapter 37, verse 36. But whatever method Jehovah chooses to use, his conquest, his victory will be completed, all his enemy will be destroyed, and all the righteous will definitely be saved.
Excellent comment, brother. We appreciate. Now, what events will lead up to Armageddon? That's the second question. Let's see the event one after the other. Please bring up your Bible again. Let's go to the book of 1 Thessalonians. We are going to read 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1 to 6. To read for us is Brother Michael Moha.
Now, as for the times and the seasons, brothers, you need nothing to be written to you, for you yourselves know very well that Jehovah's day is coming exactly as a thief in the night. Whenever it is that they are saying peace and security, then sudden destruction is to be instantly on them, just like bed pains on a pregnant woman, and they will by no means escape. But you, brothers, you are not in darkness, so that the day should overtake you as if with thieves. For you are all sons of light and sons of day. We belong neither to night nor to darkness. So then, let us not sleep on as the rest do, but let us stay awake and keep our senses.
Very fine reading. We appreciate you, brother. Question paragraphs 7 and 8a. According to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1 to 6, what unusual proclamation would world leaders make? Sister Onyinye Namso.
We do not know when the Great Tribulation will occur, but the Bible clearly states what will happen before then. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 1 to 6, foretold of a remarkable proclamation of peace and security by the world leaders and possibly even the religious leaders. This first proclamation will then usher in the Great Tribulation, which could also be referred to as Jehovah's Day.
Sister, we appreciate your comment. B, why would this be a dangerous lie? Brother Namso Udo.
It will be a dangerous lie because it will give the people a false sense of hope. It will give them a false sense of security. At a time where they are supposed to be alert because of the impending destruction, they will be resting on their arms. And with what result? The Bible says sudden destruction is to be instantly upon them as bedpains upon a pregnant woman. If you have the hard copy of your watchtower, you look at page 10, you see the first picture on top there. World leaders and possibly religious leaders are busy declaring peace and security. But below, you see Jehovah's servants. They are focused on the all-important assignment of kingdom preaching.
Excellent comment, brother. We appreciate that. During Noah's day, Jehovah destroyed that world at once. But how is Jehovah going to destroy Satan's system? That takes us to question paragraph 9. In what order will God destroy Satan's world? Sister Bolanle will teach you.
Satan's entire system all at once as he did in the days of Noah. In our time, he's going to do so in two main stages. First, to be destroyed during the Great Tribulation is Babylon, the world empire of false religion, Babylon the Great. Second is the remaining part of Satan's entire system. This includes its political, military, and commercial system, which will all be destroyed at Armageddon.
Beautiful comment, sister. Thank you so much. So that takes us to event number 2 on paragraph 10. But before we take question on paragraph 10, please open to Revelation chapter 17. We are reading verse 1 and 6. Revelation chapter 17, verse 1 and 6. Sister Rebecca Oroguba to read for us.
One of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the judgment on the great prostitute who sits on many waters." And I saw that the woman was drunk with the blood of the holy ones and with the blood of the witnesses of Jesus. Well, on seeing her, I was greatly amazed.
Let's also flip to chapter 18. Let's take verse 24. Sister, continue.
Yes, in her was found the blood of prophets and of the holy ones and of all those who have been slaughtered on the earth.
We appreciate your fine reading. Question on paragraph 10. According to Revelation chapter 17 verse 1 and 6 and chapter 18 verse 24, why will Jehovah destroy Babylon the Great? For endurance, we will go out.
She is guilty of these 5 crimes. 1, she has brought reproach on the name of Jehovah by promoting the false Trinity doctrine. Secondly, she has promoted lies such as the false teaching of hellfire. Thirdly, she has prostituted herself with many religious, political rulers of this world through her many alliances. And 4, she has exploited her members by promoting the payment of tithes, thereby exploiting them. And 5, she has killed many. She's a serial murderer. She has murdered many of Jehovah's Witnesses. I am convinced that she's deserving of destruction.
Very fine comment, but we appreciate that. Question 11. What is the scarlet-colored wild beast? And how is it involved in the outworking of God's will concerning Babylon the Great? Sister Oro Edet.
The scarlet-colored wild beast represents the UN. This wild beast has 10 horns that represent current political powers that support the UN. The wild beast will be involved in the outworking of God's judgment on Babylon the Great. Revelation 17:16 puts it this way, that the political powers that were friends with Babylon the Great will now hate her. The top left picture on page 11, if you have the hard copy, shows how the political powers will express their hatred towards Babylon the Great. With their war armies and war machines, they will destroy the influence of Babylon the Great, plunder her wealth, expose her wickedness, and leave her naked or empty. Indeed, Babylon's ruin will be far from being dignified.
Sister Edet, we appreciate that excellent comment. Question on paragraph 12. What will Jehovah not allow the nations to do? And why not? Sister Maria Otugudo.
Jehovah will not allow the nations to destroy his people for the following 3 reasons. 1, they proudly bear his name, Jehovah's Witnesses. 2, they have obeyed his command to flee from Babylon the Great. And 3, they have also worked very hard to help others to flee from Babylon the Great, in line with what is recorded at Revelation chapter 18 verse 4, that wants them to flee to avoid destruction. The picture attached to the paragraph 12 here shows a family who maintain a regular program of family Bible study to enable them remain on Jehovah's side and also help others to flee from Babylon the Great.
Sister, we appreciate your fine comment. Now let's look at the third event that will lead up to Armageddon. Please pick up your Bible. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. We are going to read Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 2, 8, and 9. Ezekiel 38, 2, 8, and 9. Brother Godfrey Ineye to read for us.
Son of man, set your face against Gog of the land of Magog, the head chieftain of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. You will be given attention after many days. In the final part of the years, you will invade the land, whose people have been restored from the ravages of the sword, collected together out of many peoples unto the mountains of Israel, which had long been lying devastated. The inhabitants of this land were restored from the peoples, and all of them dwell in security. You will come against them like a storm, and you will cover the land like clouds, you and all your troops and many peoples with you.
Thank you, Brother Ineye, for that swift reading. So, let's see the third event now by taking question paragraph 13a. Who is God? Sister Uyayabon Ukoye.
Gog of the land of Magog refers to the combined forces of the nations that Satan will use to bring his anger and attack against Jehovah's people after the destruction of all false religious organizations.
Beautiful comment, sister. The B, according to Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 2, 8, and 9, what will God bring to the symbolic place called Armageddon? Brother Peter, go ahead.
The launching of attack against Jehovah's people will bring Gog of the land of Magog to the symbolic place called Armageddon. And as can be seen on the picture on page 12 of the hard copy, we could see the policemen are getting ready to force their way through into the home of a Christian family. But we could also see that this family are not perturbed, they are not afraid. Instead, they trust that Jesus and his angels are aware of what is happening. And therefore, all of us, God's servants at that time, will trust in Jehovah wherever we will be, that he will see us through when that attack is launched.
We certainly appreciate your comment, brother. That takes us to paragraph 14. Question. What will God come to learn? Sister Kindness, Madam Queen.
God will soon learn it is marching into a trap. While it is busy trusting in its military might, Jehovah's people, on the other hand, will rely and trust in Jehovah. A stand that will seem foolish and defenseless to God and the nations, making us appear like an easy prey. But upon an attempt to launch an attack on us, we will be fighting against Jehovah himself. And alas, it will be late, like it happened to Pharaoh at the Red Sea. The picture at the top right on page 11 shows they are all ready to attack Jehovah's people, but they will not prevail.
Sister, thank you. We appreciate your fine comment. Are you ready for Armageddon? Yes. Are you ready for Armageddon? Yes. Let's move to the next paragraph 15. In what ways will Christ be completely victorious? Brother Kenny at the end.
Christ will completely be victorious in two magnificent ways. First, when he crushed Gogs and his harlots, thereby defending Jehovah's people. And second, when he hurled Satan and his demons into the abyss for a period of 1,000 years. The picture shown in the monitor, found on page 11, bottom right of our hard copy of the Watchtower, depicts that during Armageddon, while Gogs and his hordes are on rampage, Jehovah's people will fully be protected. How confident we are that Christ's victory will be completed.
Well said, brother. Thank you. So since we are ready for Armageddon, let's take the next subheading. How can you be saved at Armageddon? Question on paragraph 16a. How do we show that we know God? Sister Remy at the end.
We show that we know God by understanding what he likes, what he dislikes, as well as his standards. Knowing God also involves obeying his commandments, as explained in 1 John chapter 2 verse 4, which says,
The one who says, I have come to know him, and yet do not observe his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in this person. We do not want to be referred to as liars. Therefore, obeying Jehovah's commandments is a sure proof that we know him well.
Sister, we appreciate your fine comment. B, why will our knowing Jehovah prove to be a blessing at Armageddon? Brother Jude at the end.
But 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 3, here the scripture says that if anyone loves God, this one is known by him. The privilege of knowing Jehovah is indeed an honor on the part of those who love him. And it is our demonstrating that we know Jehovah that will prove to be life-saving at Armageddon, because Jehovah will approve and protect at Armageddon only those whom he knows.
Beautiful comment. So Armageddon is good news, not so? Yes. Question 17. What does it mean to obey the good news about our Lord Jesus? Brother Olufemi Arugolu.
It means when we apply all the truths found in God's word, the Bible. So our obedience to this truth means when we keep kingdom interests first in the first place in our life. According to Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, and seriously preaching the good news to all the nations. We also need to live our life according to God's righteous standard and supporting our Christian anointed brothers in their weighty responsibility, and also support them with all our need, our resources, and also to our brother in times of needs.
We appreciate your fine comment, brother. Question 18. In what way will Christ's anointed brothers be able to return the kindness shown them? Brother Inyezu Usuji.
All of Christ's anointed brothers would have been raised to immortal spirit lives to join the heavenly armies in readiness for the war of Armageddon. At that time, they will be in position to protect and defend the great crowd of faithful sheep-like ones who loyally supported Christ's anointed brothers during their lives on earth.
Beautiful comment. Thank you. So we get to the last subheading of this study. How can we remain faithful as the end draws near? Paragraph 19 and 20 question. Despite our trials, how can we remain faithful as Armageddon draws near? Brother Osas Ogieba.
The paragraph outlines 4 things we can do to remain faithful. First, we want to persevere in pouring our hearts to Jehovah in prayer, as Luke 21, verse 36 encourages. Second, we want to study God's word daily. Third, we want to meditate deeply on what we learn, especially prophecies concerning the future, as we've considered today. Fourth, we want to have as full a share in the ministry. As we persist in doing this, Armageddon will remain in our hearts as good news as it draws ever near.
Thank you, brother, for that fine comment. So after we have considered all of this, let us recap. What can we take away? Review question. What are some of the main events that will lead up to Armageddon? Brother Stephen Aaron.
We considered 3 main events, and these are aptly captured in the picture spread on pages 10 and 11. The first of them is the proclamation of peace and security by world leaders. We see this in the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 1 to 6. Closely following this will be the judgment on the great prostitute, as we see in the account of Revelation chapter 17, verses 1 and 6, and chapter 18, verse 24. This is actually the destruction of false religion. Then directly after this will be the attack on God's people by God of the land of Magog. We read this in the account of Ezekiel chapter 38, verses 2, 8, and 9. When this happens, Armageddon will follow closely.
Excellent analysis, brother. Thank you. Why would the proclamation of peace and security be a dangerous lie? Sister Annette Aaron.
The proclamation of peace and security will be a dangerous lie because it will give people a false sense of security. at a time where they should be focused, they will rely on the world leaders. And according to the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3, sudden destruction will be upon them, just like birth pains on a pregnant woman.
We appreciate your answer, sister. And finally, how can we remain faithful to Jehovah as Armageddon just me? Brother Namsu.
4 important points are outlined in paragraph 19. The first is heartfelt prayer to Jehovah God. The second, daily Bible reading. The third, meditating on those things that we read. And lastly, having a full share in the kingdom preaching assignment.
Beautiful answer, brother. Thank you. Thank you all participants for your excellent comments and for the time spent in preparing for this beautiful assignment. Before now, some, whenever they heard of Armageddon, they panicked. But from this study, we have learned that Armageddon is good news. So there is no need to panic. During these difficult last days, many of Jehovah's people are experiencing trials. Even so, we can endure with joy. The key is to persevere in heartfelt prayer. Pray to Jehovah always. Follow your prayer up with regular Bible study and meditating on the things you learn, including its amazing prophecies for our times. Armageddon is good news for those who know God, for those who obey His Son, and those who endure to the end. Now let's just embark on a little exercise of the mind. Let us visualize ourselves after Armageddon. Let's see how life will look like. Are you ready? Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Relax. So imagine how thrilled you will be when Babylon the Great is gone. When Armageddon is over. No more crime. No more violence. No more kidnapping. No more war. Everybody around you are people who truly love you and love Jehovah. Peace will be everywhere. Can you see yourself in that world? Yes. Can you see yourself in that world? Yes. And see me too? Yes. Until then, keep yourselves in God's love. Continue to prepare for Armageddon. Because Armageddon is what? Good news. Armageddon is good news.
Thank you very much, brother.